This seat here, I'm going to have a nice big helm on there, but I'm going to have that enclosed in. There's actually going to be a fridge under there. Over this side here, there'll be drawers here, and a different seat from there. That'll be a flat seat there, but it'll be the same, running the same doors as well. So that is a couple of features on the 690 that is on its way. You know, I was very lucky for my family to have one of the 4th batches in Duncan Bay. That's where I grew up diving and fishing. I couldn't resist putting that drone footage of Duncan in at the start. That brings back all the best fishing and diving memories I've had growing up as a little lad. I was down the creek eeling, possum trapping, out with Dad catching our cod and snapper in the bay, out with Nana and Papa catching the cod. In our plethora of boats we had the Ply-Light Fisherman, we had Nana and Papa's Brown Thunder, and then later on we had a Cresta Craft, and then we had an even bigger, we had 11.4 metre Cresta Craft, a giant one. It didn't really go anywhere because the motors never really worked half the time. You know, Duncan Bay and going to Duncan Bay just brings back all the best fishing memories for me, and so it was pretty cool to put that drone footage in at the start of Duncan Bay. Originally, this started in 2019 and it was going to be a 690, but as the years progressed on now, we're sort of going to upsize it to a 770, and I still believe the 770 is the ultimate family safe overnight diving and fishing platform. Like, it's just unbelievable. When I go out with Vaughan on their boat, I just love the 770. It's perfect for me and the lads and what we do, because most of our trips are overnighting, so to have the opportunity to build a 770, just couldn't be more excited, and it's awesome to have you guys along for this journey. The beauty too is it gives my dad a bit more comfort, and you know, I love fishing with Dad as much as a nightmare it is, but you know, we have a good time, it's funny, you know, to be able to get Dad out there and have him a little bit more comfortable, because on the 650 it's a little bit harder because the bunk space is a little bit smaller, and that having a 770 now and to be able to get Dad out in his retirement as much as he wants is actually going to be pretty cool. Repowering, so I'm definitely going to go with another Yamaha. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do on that front, whether I'm going to go to a 250 like Vaughan's or go up to a 300. So still I'm not quite sure. I have to sort of work out what the funds are going to do. Obviously the 250 on Vaughan's is more than ample. His comes along pretty quick, but I'm just, you know, 300 will give me a little bit more power, so that's something I'm still going to work out and worry about that near the end of the build. Once again, yeah, I'm going to go with Simrad electronics. I've had all the other electronics in all the other boats, or in previous boats, and been out in mates' boats, and Simrad is so simple, so easy. The new screens are so clear. I'll definitely stick with Simrad on the electronics as well. Defiant's got awesome lighting, but I've got to do a bit of research in this and see exactly where I want to go with the lighting and what brands. There's certainly a lot of things I want to do to make the lighting a bit more practical for catching live baits and just overnight fishing and all that. There's something down the track we'll work on as well. But today, guys, we're just going to go through some of the concepts and designs and some of my ideas I want to do for this 770 build. The helm station, originally they have those moving seats, but what do you call them? Not standard, like a standard sort of seat. I'm not really keen on that. I want a fixed helm seat. I just find them a bit more comfy. Yeah, a lot easier to sit on and get on and off without those side bits. What I actually would really like to do is make the drawers suit all the tackle trays, so I've got optimum space in the drawers. But that's something I'll do maybe later down the track, is measure up what I can work with and then make the drawers suit all my tackle trays and that. Because we use those little portable cookers, on the back of the helm station, out the back door, I could have a little drawer that pops out and the cooker could be in there, and then have more drawers under that swab bit. But I'm thinking above that swab I could actually have a rigging station, somewhere where we can have all the tools, tackle trays that are out of the weather. They can just go and grab a new lure, grab your bits and pieces and carry on fishing. That's what I'm thinking, or my first concept is on the helm. Rocket launchers, you can never have enough rod holders on a boat, and I firmly believe this. The 770 is a wider boat. Up top on Vaughan's and that, it holds 11 rods. On Defiant's 9. Automatically I'm going to get 2 extra rod holders on there. So I'm thinking that arch on the top, if possible, I'm going to try and maybe do double rocket launchers, but it might be a little bit overkill. Realistically, I don't know, it might just be too costly. Defiant bait board 6.0. My current bait board on Defiant's awesome. I don't know if I'd probably change too much on it, to be fair. It needs to also be bait station that's practical for everyone, and also line up with Senator, because they don't really probably want to be making too many custom bait boards, because custom bait boards, I'd imagine, is a logistical nightmare. And to get one made, the amount of time to get a guy to make a custom bait board to suit you is going to cost you an arm and a leg. Used to be awesome, but if you can afford an arm and a leg, by all means, they'll probably do it. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably going to do a very similar design to Defiant. Bigger drawer if possible. Side pockets are awesome. Definitely want a couple of drink holders. Be good to hold more rods in the back, and probably straight up and down instead of out the side. So if I can fit 6 rods in there, or 7 rods, I'll be happy. Have lighting under there as well on the bait board. Lighting on your bait board's a key thing, guys, because when you've got the deck light shining down on you, you can't actually, you're shadowing out the bait board. So a little strip of LED or a little light on there will illuminate your bait board, so you can fillet your fish, you can chop bait, you can do whatever. But having a little light on there is definitely a good thing, and it's pretty easy to do. Hundreds of lights on the market. LED waterproof lead strip light, that's cheap. It's I think $130 for 5 meters, and you can put a light bars on the side, down the gunnels, a bit on your bait board. Easy. I'll get rid of that smaller draw and try and do a deeper draw if that works too. It all has to work with the boat and fueling up and all that as well. Like I said, guys, just early days now. I thought I'd just write down all the plans I had for the future of the build. Definitely double-sided sliding windows. Gonna do a live bait tank, same as Defiant. Definitely want cooter tubes. They call them tuna tubes, but we get tuna down here, but we're not live baiting tuna, so realistically they're going to be cooter tubes where we can chuck a couple of cooter in there instead of chucking them in the live bait if we've got live baits in there. Or I use the live bait well to bleed snapper as well, and then chuck them on ice. Having a separate thing for your old coots. Cooter for bait's great for snapper. It's great for pooker as well. It's pretty much good for anything. Gurnard, awesome flesh bait. Gonna have trim tabs on there as well. 10 rod holders in the gunnels. Bin cage in the transom. I've always been pretty unsure about the bin cages on the back, but I think practically you can stand out there, someone can fish there. You can sit on the transom and be fishing out over the top of the cage, because there'll be quite a good seat there. Not having a walk-through transom though, and everyone seems to think that's weird. And being able to fish that while you're backing up comfortably against the back transom and having that live bait well at the top just is what suits me best, really. Going to have sliding cabin doors like I was talking about in the 690 from the boat show. 400 litre fuel tank, whether that works or not. Cabin underfloor hinged. Cabin carpet, extended roof. Roof casting, so I sort of want to make a platform on the roof for casting, whether that's actually going to be practical or not. Side clamps. Yeah, so I was trying to think of an idea of side clamping so you could clamp on a farm overnight. Maybe like some metal clamps that come down and you can hook it over the rope instead of using ropes, but that's just one of my mad ideas like normal. Lighting too. Now lighting, like I've said guys, lighting for me is a massive thing. You know, we do a lot of trips where we're fishing overnight, like in Kena, Peru, where we'll park up and we'll sit on the deck chairs and sleep in the deck chairs and fish all night. White light's just too bright. The red's kind of too bright as well. You know, having the featured about a dim lights and that would probably be a pretty cool thing for the boat. In the cabin, you're going to have down lights, which is going to be standard. Gunnel strip lighting. Going to have my live bait well light as well, which is same as Defiant. Bait board lights, like I said before guys, 100% get yourself bait board lights. If you're fishing at night, the deck light just shines it, you shadow it out and you can't see it, and like I said, that Jeep has. Definitely want side floodlights, and somehow I want to incorporate that UV strip like I've got on the bait drawer, so I can supercharge those lures and stuff at night. Inside the cabin too, LED strips inside the cabin, probably red and white like normal, and then up the front I'll probably do the same. Those 5 meter strips of waterproof LED strip is pretty cheap, and you know 5 meters is going to cover the whole boat, so you can have independent ones under the gunnels, couple in the main cabin, couple up in the forward bunks as well, so it's probably going to cover you for everything. So that's the lights, and underwater lights too. I'll try and get some better underwater lights that I can do multicolour with. The white's really good for squid, and that blue's really good for travelling. It doesn't really attract bait fish. I don't know why. I need to research the future on that and why the blue doesn't work. It seems to scare bait fish more. That's something I'm going to just research in the future and see what colour's the best actually for bait fish. Yeah guys, once again I'm just going to go with Fusion. Fusion's never let me down. Great stereo systems, really easy to use. The new Apollo series are pretty impressive as well, so I'm just going to stick with a Fusion. And it's going to be a pretty straightforward team. I'll have speakers on the back deck, couple in the cabin, on the brow facing down, and I'll get a sub as well in there. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little concept video drawing idea and plans of the new 770. Couldn't be more happier that we've gone up from the 690 to the 770. As I said, heaps more space, the ultimate fishing weapon, and to be able to get Dad out there and enjoy it and more comfort for him, it's going to be amazing. Stay tuned guys for this journey. I'm unsure when the builds are actually going to begin in that, but we've started talking and started getting designs going, so yeah, we'll see you on the next one.